All right, I'm back. It's math time. And we do have another page with subtraction with renaming. All right, so it looks like this. All right. We did subtraction with renaming yesterday, so I'm not going to go over it again today. I am going to assign you problems. So get out your marker. I want you to get Mama in here if she needs to know that I'm telling you not to do all of them. I want you to do 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. That's all the odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. All right, we're going to do one of them together. So let's just start the first one. See if you can beat me. 3 minus 6, bottom is bigger. I can't do it. Oh, wait a minute. This is something new. I was just waiting for us to get to this. All right, let me get a sheet of paper out. Hold your horses, hold your horses. All right, I'm going fast, I'm going fast. I'm going to write this first one down nice and big. 903 minus 726. All right, let's look at it. If the bottom is bigger, we must borrow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How are we going to get something from 0? So what we got to do is we got to fix this one first, okay? So don't get confused. We're going to borrow a group of hundreds. So that's going to be 8 hundreds. Bring that group over here. Now we have a 10. Now we can borrow. I still can't subtract this, so I'm going to borrow 1 from it. Make that a 9. Make this a 13. Now my problem is ready to work. 13 minus 6 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. 8 minus 7 is 1. All right, you work that on your paper. Right now. Right now. Right now. Do it, do it, do it. Do you have it? All right, let's go. Let's do the next one. Number 3. 845. Okay, minus 693. If the bottom is bigger, we must borrow. Is the bottom bigger? Nope. 5 minus 3 is, write it down on your book. If the bottom is bigger, we must borrow. Do we have to borrow? Yes, we do. Mark out your hundreds. Put your group of hundreds with the 10. Now you have 14 tens. 14 minus 9 is, 7 minus 6 is, did you get it? All right, let's do number 5. 483 minus 352. 3 minus 2, we can subtract that. 8 minus 5, goodness, we can subtract that. 4 minus 3, oh, that was an easy one. We didn't even have to borrow. Whoa, number 7. 604 minus 345. All right, if the bottom is bigger, we must borrow. Can we borrow from this? No, we cannot. Can we fix it? Yes. Let's borrow a group of hundreds. That brings that down to 500. Put your group of hundreds over here. Now you've got 10. Now we can fix this one. We borrow a group of tens. Now we have 9 group of tens. We have 14. 14 minus 5 is 9 minus 4 is 5 minus 3 is, that's a lot of borrowing. I love it when it's like that. All right, so that, oh, we got one more? Yes, we got one more. All right, 851 minus 673. All right, I like this problem. If the bottom is bigger, we must borrow. Can we borrow from this? Yes, we can. So we make that a 4, and this is 11. 11 minus 3 is 4 minus 7. Oops, the bottom is bigger. We got to borrow. Make this 7 groups of 100. Bring that group of 100 over here, and it's 10 group of 10s plus 4, 14. 14 groups of 10 minus 7 groups of 10 leaves you with 7 groups of 10. 7 groups of 100 minus 6 groups of 100 leaves you with 1 group of 100. 178. Ah, we are in the big stuff now. You should be proud of yourself. This is like lots of borrowing. That is super fun. All right, use the table to answer the question. Let's see if we can do this together. The Lapham family wants to visit Provincetown. The closest airport is Boston. Okay, what is going on over here? The chart says flights to Boston, the departure city, and then the cost. So if you leave from Toledo, Ohio, it's $460. If you leave from Detroit, Michigan, it's $230. Flint, Michigan, it costs you $248. Grand Rapids costs you $320. The closest airport to them is Boston. I'm not understanding this. Okay, it says, what is the cost of the cheapest airfare? Well, the cheapest one on the chart is $230. Is that what they're looking for? It says, write an equation. What equation can you write to find the cost difference between the flight departing from Detroit and the price departing from Flint? I don't know. I guess because there's no airport that says Boston. So on number 11, I think what they would just want us to look at the chart and find the cheapest flight. What's the cheapest one on that chart? Detroit, Michigan. So how much is that? $230. Okay. All right. It says, what equation can you write to find the cost difference? How do we find differences? We subtract between the flight departing from Detroit and the flight departing from Flint. Okay, this is a big problem, and I don't want to write it going across. I want to write it going up and down. So I'm going to write mine right up here. All right, so the one from Detroit is $230, and the one from Flint is $248. So if I'm going to subtract, what do I have to put on top? The biggest number. So I'm going to put $248 on the top. I'm going to write it very neatly because I've got to be able to subtract. Okay, and then the other one is Detroit. Detroit is $230. Okay, to find a difference between two numbers, we subtract. All right, 8 minus 0 is 8. 4 minus 3 is 1. So there's only an $18 difference. So I'm just going to put the answer over here. $18 difference. Somewhere on your paper, I need you to write it down and show me that you subtracted it. It says, which flights are about 200? Ooh, I see 2 of them. We're rounding off. You remember the day we rounded? You have to go to the 5 or to the 50 or to the 500, and then it passes over to the next one. But if it's before that, it stays back at the one it originally was. So I want you to look at those and find out which 2 flights are about $200 just by rounding. I see 2 of them. But I'm not going to tell you the answer. I just want to see if you know it. All right, let's look at the back. I want you to do number 1. And number 2. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Only those. 1, 2, and 3. I am not going to help you with those. I want to see if you can do it. Let's look at the story problem. On the beach, Haley, we have had a lot of Haley. On the beach, Haley photographed different kinds of seagulls. She took, oh my goodness, she took 211 pictures of great black-backed gulls. She took 134 pictures of laughing gulls and 95 pictures of ring-billed gulls. This girl is picture crazy. How many more photos we're comparing When you compare numbers, you are finding the differences between them. Finding the difference means we subtract. How many more photos did Haley take of great black gulls than laughing gulls? Well, let's go up here and find it. There were 211 of the great blacks. Uh-oh. Where did you go? There you are. All right, there were 211 of the great black-backed. And then of the laughing one, there was 134. So they want to know, what is the difference between those two numbers? How many more did she take of the blackbacks? So I'm going to write down the big one on top. Then I'm going to write down the smaller one. And I'm going to what? Subtract. All right, are you having any trouble with that one? Because it's a lot of borrowing going on. So the first one is 1 minus 4. We can't do that. So we go to the tens and we borrow a group of 10 and make that a 0. And then the 1 in the ones place becomes 11. 11 minus 4 is, are you writing this down? You gotta write it down. It's the only way to do it. It's a lot to do in your head. All right, going back to the tens column, now we have a 0 minus 3. Can we do that? No siree, Bob. So we take one group of 100 and move it to the tens place. That makes it a 10, and that makes the hundreds now not 2, but just 1. So 10 minus 3 is, and 1 minus 1 is. So come back over here and write your answer down. All right. It says, how many photos did Haley take of all the gulls? Put them all in the bowl. All in the bowl. We want to know how many are in all. What do we do to find out in all? We add. So you're going to have to add up every one of those gulls and then put the answers down. Write the numbers from least to greatest. I want you to do a big, fat, honking X on that. You do not need to do that. Big, fat, honking X. Okay, show Mama the X. I do not want you to do that. You already know how to do that. Okay, Mama, listen up. Leon, get Mama. If he misses these, make him erase them and do them again. And then he needs to do, for every problem he misses, he needs to do one more. So if he just misses this one, he just does one more. If he misses this one, he does 2 more. If he needs to go back and listen to yesterday's video on borrowing, he can do that. Or he can turn back to the front of this video, and we did multiple borrowing on this video. So if he doesn't understand it, he can watch it again, or you can go over it with him. All right. I know that you will get this because you are a bright, shining star. And a star will go far. All right, Leon, I want you to do this, and that is all that you need to know about borrowing. If you can't subtract, you got to borrow. If that one doesn't work, then you got to go to the next column and borrow and fix it. And then once you get it fixed, then you can borrow from it. That's all you need to know about borrowing. So once you get this down, you're good to go on adding and subtracting. You have learned everything there is to know about it. So pat yourself on the back. You're a big 3rd grader now. And we will come back and do some multiplication practice.